crowd, you know, a good venue, and they get excited about the snooker, and you know, it's it's a good atmosphere to play in.
There's not much century breaking this season, so I'm happy to see that break building come back. Feels like not been doing that for a long time.
It's a fine line between winning and losing these days. So it could be a missed part or not scoring well or safety. You know, you need to be on in pretty all departments really. Otherwise, you know, if you're weak in one area, it can let you down.
This was great to play my hero, and maybe I play good.
I haven't really followed his performances or his game, you know, but if he gets back on form, then you know he's a dangerous player, and you know he's a tournament winner. So hopefully he doesn't play well against me.
Every time I talk to myself, just like it's ready to go for the match with Ronnie. It's just that sometimes it doesn't work. Could be a good game, could be very bad. Yeah, both way, but I want to do it the better way.
I don't really analyse my performance. I just sort of go out there and try as hard as I can, and if I get a result, great. If I don't, then you know you just have to accept it and move on. You know.
What we got? Well done. We were just fascinated with that embrace at the end with Deng, and we were just wondering if you wouldn't mind telling us what you were saying to him there.
No, it's just between me and Ding, you know.
Fair enough,
he knows
fair
what
enough.
I think of him, and I said what I had to say, and you know, you keep stuff like that private to each other.
It is clear that there's a real respect and affection for that man for you.
Well, because you know, he's just one of the best guys. You know, he's just got a heart of gold, and you know, his family have looked after me whenever I go to China. You know, they're just the most amazing people, and you know, I just see him like a brother. You know.
Yeah. Well, Luke, sorry, Stephen.
I was saying, you said you were willing him on to make the 147. It was a great effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the last black that he potted with the rest. I mean, he'd be disappointed. I think he's the type of player that if he'd have made the maxi, he'd have probably been disappointed that it wasn't the perfect maxi. That's the type of player he is. I mean, he's such a perfectionist, cue ball control and that. But you know, it was just brilliant. You know, brilliant to see the London crowd have a chance to see a 147.
It was indeed, and you were enjoying it as well, particularly when that yellow fluked in as well.
I knew it was in before him. He's gone like that, and I'm like, it's in. And I think if he would have not done that, he might have had a chance at the green. I don't know.
It's a strange game because, like, before the interval, you were like a lump of granite, and it felt like you let him off the hook a fraction. Judging it from afar, when you're playing the game, you don't analyse it the same as in the studio.
Yeah, now listen, I wouldn't have been disappointed if I'd have lost because I loved that guy so much, you know, and I would have really been happy to see him competing in a final, you know. He wouldn't have done. He wanted to nail everyone to the ground, you know. But I'm a little bit different like that, you know. I just enjoy playing. I enjoy competing, enjoy the occasion. But I've been so happy for Ding, you know, because he's a special guy, special talent.
But these guys were saying you were virtually unplayable in those first 4 frames. You were really disciplined, really on it. What changed, would you say, after the interval?
Not a lot, really. I mean, I missed a couple of balls, but you know, it was 50s, 60s, 40s, bit of safety. You know, it's all right. You know, it's not my strong point, so. You know, it was. You know, I played the right shot, but it wasn't scary
Once
stuff.
again, though, you must be pleased the way to finish the match. Of that long red and the yellow in the middle, it's a brilliant way to finish the match off. Oh, absolutely.
The first red you played, like there was a danger you were going to go into the pack. You saw the fact you could get around the back of it. That was a great shot.
Do you know what it is? You know when you kind of get to a point where you don't care. No, not that I didn't care out there. You just get to a point in life where I've trained myself to not care about anything, any consequences and whatever. And when you're in that place, you just take it for what it is. It's just a game, and you enjoy it. And I have nothing to lose because I have fear that you know, there is no fear, you know, in a way, and that's just for life, you know. So it's just, you know, I just go out there and you know, I just do my best.
That makes you a very dangerous competitor.
Yeah, it does, because some of the shots you have to take on these days. I mean, the yellow, the second shot of that break to win the yellow in the middle was a very risky one but I think we've got these 2 shots you played actually. The red, you was in all sorts of trouble if you decided to play a safety shot. Marvellous. And you left yourself not easy on the yellow. That went a bit too far down the table.
It's a curing shot, isn't it? If you cure it all right, it goes in. If you cure it around corners, then you miss it thick, thin, all sorts of stuff.
It does help if you sort of can give that sort of, doesn't matter if you miss it or not.
Yeah, honestly, it's not I don't care. I mean, it's just you train yourself. The SAS train himself to do a job. I train myself to not get hurt. In life, you have your ups and downs, and I've just trained myself that nothing is gonna, I'm not gonna be, vulnerable to anything. Even life itself. And I'm not a religious person. Don't get me wrong, but you just have to, because it's life can be tough, and you have to just sort of learn to roll with the punches and come out feeling good no matter what the result sometimes.
I'll tell you what, Ronnie, you're on some roll. This is your sixth event and you're in your 5th final. Yeah, and when you think back on that performance today and you look ahead to tomorrow and what's a 13th Masters final, what are you happiest with today, and what would you think about maybe trying to squeak a little improvement out tomorrow?
I don't look for improvement. You just play the balls, play the table. Each day is different. I've had about 3 or 4 different corrections this tournament so far. I changed it again at 4-3. But I feel like I have a framework, or the scaffolding, if you like, with Steve. The scaffolding's there. Now I can just tweak about a bit more. I lost a bit of my timing, but I've had that for so long now, for so many years, that I don't let it bother me as much as I used to.
Ask you, will you watch tonight? The other semi-final, will you watch it?
I don't know. Do you know it's very exhausting, because I don't know. Like when I'm 43 now. I don't know how you felt when you was 43, but I find I get tired now. Just concentrating for long periods of time. And I always say to myself, what would a 29-year-old Ronnie do against a 43-year-old Ding? Mm-hmm. I think, I think I'd get on top a bit easier. I don't know, but as you're kind of like older and you're playing these youngsters, it's a bit difficult to keep fighting off the punches sometimes. I've been doing it for 25 years, and you do get a bit punchy, and you have to just kind of find a way to just find your place within the sport, I think, sometimes.
Well, is it going to be a 30-something Neil Robertson or a 29-year-old Judd Trump with the big punches that you think you might be facing tomorrow?
Well, I mean, if you go by form, I suppose you'd have to say Judd. He's played probably the best snooker out of Neil so far, and he seems like he's turned a corner with his, with how he's playing. So, but Neil's a dangerous player. He studies the game a lot. He looks at his statistics, and he's found a way that he thinks he can play better. So you have to admire that dedication and that due diligence, if you like, about his job. So whoever it is, it's going to be a tough game, but it'll be a long day for me, but I'm looking forward to a rest after this. I've got 2 weeks off, thank God for that.
Well, you've got a big day tomorrow, Ronnie. We really thank you for coming in once again. And I tell you what, that's some record this season, and you're into your 13th Masters final. Well done. All right.
13, I'll some.
Well, indeed, yeah.